Hey guys, my name is Jeff Filer, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about hydraulic fracturing and its effects on our Pennsylvania watersheds. So how and why it works in Pennsylvania. First of all, hydraulic fracturing or fracking begins with a geological survey of what lies beneath the ground. So once an adequate site is found and thought to hold a lot of natural gas, the drilling process begins. Wellbores are drilled vertically, typically 5,000 to 9,000 feet, and then horizontally, typically 10,000 or more feet across. To put that in perspective, our wellbores for water are usually 500 to 900 feet deep. So after this happens, they coat the bore with a protective layer of cement, and they send small explosives down that detonates minor fractures in the target rock. Incompressible fluid is then hydraulically injected into the open bore and the subsequent cracks. Further expansion of these cracks due to high pressure allows natural gas to be released. And grit and sand from the fracturing fluid actually helps to keep the cracks open, which results in a higher yield of natural gas. Pennsylvania in particular is really popular for natural gas drilling because it encompasses the largest area of what's known as the Marcellus gas region. The shale layer is thickest in eastern PA and begins to get more and more thin as it moves west. That's because decreasing grain size in the classic deposits which entered the basin from the east. So it's thick here and then starts thinning out as you go west. But yeah, typically Pennsylvania is super popular for this because of that, for that reason. The main concern here is the fracturing fluid is what they actually send down the wellbore to help extract natural gas. It varies in composition depending on conditions that are specific to the well being drilled. Each component serves its own purpose in optimal gas extraction, and the main constituents of this fluid, up to 99.5% of it, is sand and water. But the other minuscule trace amounts of other chemicals that they send in are what is causing the problem. Some examples are minuscule amounts of biocides to prevent microorganism growth, such as ethylene glycol and glutaraldehyde. There are also oxygen stabilizers to prevent corrosion. Example of this would be ammonium bisulfate. And there are also acids that remove drilling mud damage within the near wellbore. Example of that would be citric acid. So all these, minute elements, compounds, they eventually add up when they get subject to, above ground exposure. So the environment. In theory, this fluid is supposed to be recycled or stored, but in actuality, some of this fluid seeps into underground reservoirs and above ground watersheds. So poor monitoring, especially in Pennsylvania, and regulation has led to many violations in regards to the use and disposal of the mixture. Hundreds of Marcellus gas wells have already been drilled in the watersheds of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela rivers, which converge in downtown Pittsburgh. And as you see a quote up here from Jeff Titel, the director of New Jersey Sierra Club, we could lose the Delaware River as a major recreation area and threaten the drinking water for millions of people. So it's a pretty big deal. I live right by the Delaware River. We go there all the time, fishing, kayak, and stuff like that, and really don't want to lose that because it's a great part of where I live. Some possible solutions for this is on-site wastewater treatment facilities. Rather than companies taking their fracturing fluid and trucking it over to waste disposal facilities, they should have on-site plants that could actually treat the water right there and then and put it back into use or put it back out into the environment safely. The use of less volatile chemicals, more stringent regulations, consistent monitoring, testing, and no drill zones near watersheds and aquifers. As you can see in the Northeast, that's where and the Southwest is where the most of this hydraulic fracturing takes place, and there are also over 4,000 violations just this year from these natural gas drilling companies. Just another quote: "If there isn't capacity to treat the water fracturing fluid, I'm not going to be an apologist for the industry. We should not move forward with this until we know how to deal with the wastewater and every single drop of it." So the conclusion here, fracking is a very lucrative process, but it must be refined in the early years in which it's in right now. With Pennsylvania being one of the biggest contributors to Marcellus natural gas drilling, it is vital that we set the tone for future industries to come. Distinct legislation that makes it very hard to drill near areas with notable water presence that could easily be done by sending out geological analysts who could analyze underground aquifers or nearby streams, see if it'll be a threat to drill anywhere near there. Specifically, fracturing fluid must be contained, recycled, and disposed of properly, as it can easily make its way into watersheds. So like I talked about, the on-site wastewater treatment facility, or just more stringent legislation that doesn't allow people to drill close to these watersheds. And lastly, find these solutions before fracking reaches Center County's Spring Creek, Little Juniata, and Penns Creek, because this is where I fish all over here. Center County is home to some of the best trout streams in the Northeast, and we like to keep it that way. And Center County is right on the edge of the Marcellus Shale, so if we could keep either fracking out of here or find a way to really treat this hydraulic fluid, then that would be optimum. Thank you.